I think the spirituality is already there in all the scriptures. All we need is not blind faith anymore. There's logic. You need logic to guide you in those ways. When you ask those questions, you're always going to find the answers in the right way. And that's one of the things that is being deprived from a lot of people who are looking. Because when people start looking, they start to ask questions, but then
Do
they're
you
blocked.
think that there's an important role for faith? Do you think that it's maybe not by faith alone, but also by logic, or is it just faith is useless, so you should just go by logic? Or is it the
Faith
other way
is
around?
faith is useless. You should go by logic. You go by logic with the scriptures. You believe you uphold that logic to your being, because the scripture becomes logical when you put more logic to it.
But how do you put logic to things that are illogical, like this experience you had? It's not a whole lot of logic where you have a being with two heads appearing in front of you and you walk to the next room and a whole bunch of demons appear from the floor. That's not a logical experience.
Great question.
And you're going on that by faith. You have
No,
faith that this is a real experience.
because that is not where my faith standpoint is.
But
Because
you
it's
have faith in the
external.
experience is what I'm saying. Maybe
Oh
not
no,
in other things beyond it. You believe that happened, right? You
I
believe
wouldn't say I
something
believe it.
happened.
Something happened, but it's not something that I'll say I believed in. But it's also telling of because I put it as a concept of conflict, right? Maybe my mind is having a conflict between what is right and wrong, and the spiritual entities, right? Has like, okay, he's found his right. Now let's disturb him and bring him back to his wrong, right? Or bring him back to the ignorance that he had before. Because that is done to make sure that you can still stay stuck in that concept of faith. Because at the end of it, with those spiritual things, it's not for you. Those are not for you to believe in or to have faith in.
I
The
read a
faith is in.
theory that
Mhm.
Yahweh is actually the written word for the way humans breathe. So when you come into this world, you say, and when you leave the world, your last breath is also, so it's a breath, and that breath is both recognition of God. Is that maybe something similar?
It could be similar, very much. Well, it's not. It's very more boom. It has an oomph to it.
Okay.
But like I said, right? It's like you said. That was a great analogy, right? You breathe in and out, right, to represent your first coming in. Even when you're going to sleep, you still do it, right? And everything you do is an internal practice, right? And to me, that's what I see spirituality being. And logic is the best way for us to find an internal meaning, because it is good to ask ourselves those questions. It is good to question the system that is around us, trying to guide us into whatever concept that they believe in.
I have a
Right?
hard time putting so much faith, for lack of a better term, I have a hard time putting so much faith in logic because I see so many illogical things in this world.
Yes, but that's also logic,
How so?
right? Because without logic, you wouldn't find it illogical.
I don't find it logical to be a meat bag that disintegrates in an infinite universe. I feel it more logical to be some sort of impenetrable creature that could just last forever and experience things in infinity.
Okay. Okay. So what makes you not know that that could be also blind faith? Because you
Right.
haven't seen it, right? It's also taught to you. It's everything that we live in comes from that foundation of faith. When it comes to science, that we are educated in on the material world of things, and when it comes to religion,
But it
at the
sounds
end
like
of
you're
it,
building a case for faith now.
but at the end of it, yes, I am, because it's a faith foundation of faith that makes you question things, right? The foundation will bring questions, and then the faith is what stops those questions. Like on the science aspect starts with faith, the Big Bang, right?
Yes. There's a lot of
That
magic that happens for science to be able to
yes,
start.
to start. So it's a big faith. And even after that, everything we experience outside of this earth is also faith based. We haven't gone up there, right?